Welcome to Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the 2016 NBA champs, the Cleveland Indians, the fifth best orchestra in the world, the second biggest performing arts center in the U.S., the world's largest outdoor chandelier, one of the world's best art museums, the second best hospital system in the world. I guess the Browns. You get it. Cleveland rocks. But how did this humble city on America's north coast get its humble beginnings? Why was Cleveland founded, and how was it founded? Who founded it, and how did it grow into the major city that it is today? In this video, I'm going to explain the brief early history of my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio. So first off, back in 1662, all of Northeast Ohio actually belonged to the state of Connecticut. You see, originally, Connecticut's royal charter stated that the tiny state laid claim to land extending from sea to sea across all of North America. However, in exchange for the federal government assuming all the state's debt, Connecticut followed the lead of several other states, ceding the majority of its western claims to the federal government. Unlike these other states, Connecticut actually held on to some of its claims, keeping 3.3 million acres of land in what is now Northeast Ohio. This land came to be known as the Connecticut Western Reserve, which can still be seen in the names of many Cleveland institutions, such as Case Western Reserve University and Western Reserve Hospital. Now, the Western Reserve was split by Connecticut into two sections. The western half was set aside for residents of Connecticut whose homes had been destroyed by the British following the American Revolution. This land came to be known as the Firelands. In 1796, Connecticut sold the rest of the Western Reserve to the Connecticut Land Company, who sent survey groups to divide the land into townships. One of these survey groups in 1796 settled a town on the eastern bank of the Cuyahoga River. The group was led by General Moses Cleveland, and the group decided to name the town after their survey leader. In 1796, the map of Cleveland looked like this. Its New England roots can be seen by the large public square in the center, which today looks like this. Anyways, in 1800, only 3 people lived in Cleveland. That same year, Trumbull County was created out of the Northwest Territory, encompassing the entirety of Connecticut's now relinquished Western Reserve. In 1803, Ohio became the 17th state, and in 1805, Geauga County was created, encompassing Cleveland. In 1807, Cuyahoga County was created, and being that Cleveland had 57 whole people, it was chosen as the county seat. So I drew this map of Cuyahoga County to help illustrate the early growth of the Cleveland area. Cuyahoga County's present boundaries, which look like this, went through various adjustments following the county's creation in 1810 until finally being set in 1845. The original 19 townships arose from 1800 to 1827, starting with Cleveland Township in 1802, the only township established prior to Ohio's statehood and Cuyahoga County's creation. This township was always home to the county seat, which of course is Cleveland, but Cleveland itself did not incorporate until 1814, upon which its boundaries looked like this. Only a handful of the original 19 townships were organized before the village of Cleveland. Among these is Newburgh Township, Cleveland's main rival in the early 1800s. You see, Newburgh was initially the county's largest settlement since development in Cleveland was hampered by malaria outbreaks at the mouth of the Cuyahoga. It was even thought that Newburgh would be selected as county seat, but Cleveland won the title instead thanks to its accessible location on Lake Erie's shores. Regardless, Newburgh Township's formal organization on October 15, 1814, spurred Cleveland into incorporation, officially obtaining its first village charter just 2 months later, on December 23, 1814. In 1815, Alfred Kelly was elected as the Village of Cleveland's first president. That same year, Euclid Avenue was laid out, which today serves as downtown Cleveland's main street. By 1818, Brooklyn Township had organized, plus some other townships throughout the county, and by 1820, Cleveland's population was 606. In 1822, the Columbus Street Bridge opened up, making it the first free bridge across the Cuyahoga River, connecting Cleveland's east and west sides. The west side of the river had developed into a settlement known as Ohio City, and the two cities became rivals for decades following. In 1826, Lenox Township was transferred to Cuyahoga County, renamed Olmsted, and by now, every township in the county had been organized. 1829 saw the first time that Cleveland annexed more land into its borders. Cleveland annexed a small piece of land in southwest Cleveland Township along the banks of the Cuyahoga River. In 1834, Cleveland officially grew too big for its britches, annexing land around the entirety of the village, as well as the remainder of the river bend it had annexed in 1829. Today, this region is known as the Irishtown Bend, as well as the Flats. In 1831, the Cleveland Chronicle misspelled the name of Cleveland, dropping the first A from its name. To this day, this mistake has never been corrected, and Cleveland remains spelled Cleveland. Also in 1831, the 20th President of the United States, James A. Garfield, was born in Orange Township, in the present-day community of Moreland Hills. In true Cleveland fashion, his memorial in Lakeview Cemetery is under construction for the next year. 1832 saw Cleveland become the northern terminus of the Ohio-Erie Canal, which was constructed by the state of Ohio to promote the state's economy. None other than Alfred Kelly, who by now was a state representative, convinced the state government to put its northern terminus in Cleveland, and he supervised construction of its northern division between Cleveland and its neighbor city of Akron. Today, what's left of the Ohio-Erie Canal is mostly part of Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and along it runs the 85-mile-long towpath, which 2.5 million people a year run, bike, or hike along between Cleveland and the small town of New Philadelphia, Ohio. The canal almost instantly made Cleveland a major commercial center. Now, Cleveland was directly connected with New York City via New York's Erie Canal and New Orleans via the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. On March 3, 1836, Ohio City formally incorporated itself, becoming the first city in Cuyahoga County. Just 2 days later, Cleveland also incorporated as a city. The rivalry between the two cities did not go away after incorporation. In fact, it escalated into all-out war. But that's a story for another time. Thank you guys so much for watching my video all about Cleveland, Ohio's history, my hometown. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you did not enjoy this video, please let me know in the comments. If you are a Cleveland historian and think I left something important out, leave that in the comments as well. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy geography, please subscribe to my channel. I hope to have another video out shortly. And yeah, thanks.